September. I'm having babies this month. All right, so I just got back from my first stress test for the babies, but really it's a biophysical profile with twins. I think it's just twins that get this, or maybe high risk in general. So I was like kind of confused because I wasn't sure how they measured it. So they're looking for 5 things. They're looking for at the non-stress test, so that each baby has 2 elevations of their heart rate in 20 minutes. So they have to pass that, and they either get 2 points to pass or 0. Then there is the fetal movement. So they need to essentially move 2 to 3 times. Then they have to have muscle extensions 2 to 3 times. They need to have rhythmic breathing. So like that, like practice breathing where they kind of are like breathing in amniotic fluid and breathing it out. They're not really breathing it in. It's more of just like taking it in and expanding their lungs and closing their lungs essentially. And the fluid pockets need to be at least 2 centimeters by 1 centimeter, she said. So essentially each baby should have a score. For the perfect score is a score of 10. So 0 to 10. For 10, you're good. You go back next week. If it's an 8, you're still okay. 4 or a 6 would have you, they would like roll you right to triage, which is right next door. And then they would monitor you for a couple of more hours. And then if you have a 0 or a 2, you go right to delivery. We were 10s today, so they behaved. So thank you, babies. It's just like for a non-stress test, it's stressful. And when they're doing the monitoring of their heart rates, they do your blood pressure, their heart rates, and a monitor to track if you had any contractions. So I go to these weekly now, and they're like anywhere, depending on how the babies are, like how fast they're getting their points. So 30 minutes for each baby to do all of these things, essentially, minus the stress test, because that is separate. Interesting. So now that gets layered in with my OB appointments, and will also be layered in with my ultrasounds that basically measure their like growth scan ultrasound. So I don't think I have a growth scan for another 2 weeks. So we'll really see how big they are. Yeah. So crazy. 33 weeks today, by the way. I just wanted to film this because I'm like, I don't want to forget how today went. Because this was a really positive one. And I think from here, it's going to be like week to week basis. So, yep. Okay, so I feel like I have so much to do. So this is 34 weeks pregnant with boy-girl twins, and this is my last week of work. Today, I'm only doing 3 days this week. Today's the day off. I have a non-stress test and a biophysical profile. I have to go to therapy, and I really need to film my second trimester. So I know I'm like well into the 3rd, but I just haven't filmed it yet. I'm gonna see if I can get that done today. Excuse me, before my doctor's appointment, and get myself ready, because I am not right now. I really plan on like vlogging the rest of this pregnancy because I'll be home. So I can do like nursery tours, actually film what's in my hospital bag. It's not done yet. Hospital bag is packed, but I haven't filmed that. I just have a lot I want to do. I don't think it'd be fun for memories, but let's start with me getting ready and enjoying this. Claps for me. I filmed my second trimester finally. I If you're seeing this at this point, it's already out. But it just took me forever to film it. I have all my notes on my cell phone, which I'm like using right now, and the camera that I use for those, it just doesn't focus great, and it's kind of a pain. So I was saying possibly maybe for Christmas I could get myself like a nice video camera. Does anybody have recommendations? Okay, so I'm officially terrible at updating right after the appointments. I think it was just so hot, and I was trying to run from my non-stress test to get like the smallest amount of grocery shopping done. Like just went to Weiss, which is like literally around the corner from my house, really quick, and got I think like 3 meals worth of food and maybe like some fruit and drinks. Like that's really it. Appointment went really well, and it's funny, so last time oh, I almost said their names, I haven't said them on here yet, but so he was very sleepy last time and she was showing off, and then this time, and she's usually like my wild woman, she was sleepy. And the nurse was so nice. Thank God she gave me like an extra, I mean, she didn't say it, but she definitely gave me like an extra 10 minutes for her to get baby girl to show off her breathing skills, because everything else looked good. She got their fluid pockets right away, which is like one of the hardest things. And then otherwise it's just observing the babies. So he was moving up a storm. And I don't know if she wasn't, or I think his leg was like his thigh was kind of covering where her belly would have been. Her to breathe, she wouldn't have. So I was just trying to get like that going. But yeah, so she gave her like an extra 10 minutes, but we didn't talk about it. I definitely know she did though. They're like head to head. So heads are here. She is all the way up here, and he is like literally all the way down here. So she's like, you're lucky you're tall, because usually like people's bellies get like all dysmorphed when both babies are transverse, and she's like, and somehow they are fine with you. I still have really normal blood pressure. Like I haven't had any high blood pressure or anything. And they got a 10 out of 10. So he passed the test. So second test in a row. And now I feel like I'm going to see like a long lost friend, which I don't know if you feel that way about your therapist, but I feel that way about mine. She like, not, maybe that's a whole nother video, but completely like changed my life and really helped me be where I am today, or be who I am today, or recognize who I was, maybe. She would more say the latter, but I would say the first two. I used to go like every other week, and then I started going monthly, and then with like my pregnancy ramping up and just feeling like really emotional and hormonal, I would go probably every other week again. So it's been like almost 6 weeks, I feel like, and I'm just happy to have her. And why I say like she's like a long lost friend is just because it gives you like the best advice. So you know, you have your girlfriends who, everybody has their friends that give them advice and kind of help them out in scenarios, but it doesn't sometimes always feel like the advice that they give is in your best interest, because they're not a professional. It's okay, we're people, we're all people, it's not a negative thing. But she is, so she really like helps me see what I actually want and what I'm trying to do, and not what I typically route to, which is doing for others first. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and there. I got here a little early. I figured I would update you guys. Good morning. So it's Wednesday and it's my second to last day at work. I think I mentioned yesterday how the nurse at my non-stress test said that I should probably get like a medication for the reflux. And I had a really rough night last night. I went to bed around probably like 10. I think I ate at later than 8:30. And then at 12, I woke up choking on acid. And to the point where I made myself throw up, and then I was like projectile. So we got to figure this out, because I can't like I can't even sleep because I'm waking up choking on my own acid. So fingers crossed they give me something tomorrow. I have that appointment very early in the morning, but I'm just about to turn into work now, so hopefully this day goes by fast. I'm like, really, oh my god, look at this bump. I'm really feeling it today. Good morning. It's September. I'm having babies this month. All right, so I have an appointment in about gotta leave in like a half an hour. I'm going to get some juice, because that's what I try to drink every day. Not been great with greens at all this entire pregnancy. So I'm trying to like incorporate something like this every day. So like a mason jar. This is just celery, cucumber, green chard, lettuce, grapefruit. And then it says it has like mint tea in it or whatever. It's just easier than like, I have a juicer, but it's just easier than making my own. So I'll start with this. Have my entire water bottle here filled up with ice, which I'll drink that. And then we'll go from there. Okay, OB appointment done. Went fine. We just talked about C-section dates. I got like all this paperwork that kind of just like gives you all the rules. It's at 11:30. Just like what to bring. So I'm curious. They do set up a phone call with you, which is good. So if I have any questions, which I always do, bring and how to prepare. And it does say to bring your breast pump, which I was kind of surprised at. So I don't know. I'll ask a couple questions and go from there. I've officially gained 35 pounds so far this pregnancy. Then I had to submit my paperwork for being out of work, which is interesting because I brought it like 2 weeks ago and they told me no, it's too early. And then now that I'm out of work in like 4 days, the paperwork takes like 7 to 10 days to fill out. The level of common sense, and I get it. I'm probably just aggressive and eager, but come on, people. Like, I can't help it that I naturally run as like a person who needs to be prepared for things. And makes me crazy. It just makes me nuts. And I have the chiropractor later. I have to finish a couple of things today on my list. Like I need to finish sending out my shower thank yous, which more than half of them are written. I just needed to put stamps on it. I needed to book a hotel for my friend's wedding, so it might be like my first night away from the babies. in April. But they're doing like, I got the last room because of course I was like last minute. Did I say I have to go to the chiropractor? I don't remember. So I have the chiropractor, and what else is on my list? Oh, this is why none of it gets done because I don't remember it. I had to call someone else. The pediatrician. Oh my God. I have to call the pediatrician and set that up. So I've asked like a lot of moms that I know that kind of live in my area. I've done a little bit of research. We're basically going with CHOP, but there's a local one in my area. What else? I think I'm going to go stop at this cafe and get a coffee and either a breakfast sandwich or like a treat. I tend to do after my appointments. It's like I'll either stop at a coffee shop or, you know, I'm not going to be able to do this soon. No one, you know, I'll be just drinking coffee at home, and who knows if I'll even be able to eat. I want to get brewer's yeast too because I wanted to make these like lactation brownies. Like, I was going to make like 2 batches of them and freeze them, but I need brewer's yeast and I have everything else but that. So don't know if that's going to happen today, but when I do make them, I will maybe film that. So crazy. It's like 3.5 weeks away. And then tomorrow's my last day at work, and I do have to do some work things. I brought home my laptop to be able to do a couple of things I have to do. I have to like present something in the morning, so let's get ready for that. And yep, it's only 10 a.m. so last day of work until these babies are here and I'm a mom. So crazy. Yeah, I just can't believe it. I have a lot to accomplish today, but I got a lot done yesterday, so I'm really proud of myself there. So yeah, I'm gonna go to work. I have to do a meeting. I have to wrap up some things, make sure my team's okay, and then I'm done. And we just go into like waiting and watching and we'll see. So I will probably finish this up here and call it a day, or a week rather. And I don't know. It's very weird.